Attention all real estate sales and marketing professionals. You are cordially required to open your eyes and ears wide. Believe me, what you are about to read about the RM 1.9 billion bumiputra lots that will be released will knock off your socks from your feet. Don't believe? Just continue reading this bulletin and you will agree with me 110%. Honest. Jokes aside. But hold you horses. Let's quickly reveals the news salient points first. Alright. Briefly, more than 2,000 unsold houses reserved for bumiputra home buyers worth RM 2 billion is approved for sale by the authorities. These properties were reserved for the M40 and T20 categories and above. This action could reduce the problems of property overhang. Additionally, it could assist developers to manage their cash flow. Ultimately, it does drive up the Malaysia's economy through the multiplier effect. Believable? You bet it can. That said, let's dig into the core of this week's newsletter. Shall we? Thanks. Here goes. Breaking news. RM 1.9 billion's bumiputra lots released. Believe it or not, Johor government allows developers to sell 2,211 units to solve overhang issues. Johor Bahru, over 2,000 unsold houses allocated for bumiputra home buyers worth close to RM 2 billion have been released by the Johor government over the past 4 months, says a state exco member. The properties were from the M40 and T20 categories and above, comprising housing units, apartments, commercial buildings, and industrial buildings, said State Housing and Local Government Committee Chairman Datuk Mod Jaffni MD Shukar. We have released 2,211 unsold bumiputra lots to the developers with an estimated sale value of RM 1.9 billion. The state received RM 146 million in bumiputra unit release fees, SGB, from the developers, as they are required to pay the government between 7.5% and 10% of the sold unit price, he said when contacted. He said it had helped the state government solve the problem of property overhang in the state, besides helping developers manage their cash flow. Mod Jaffna said most of these units were unsold for the past 3 years and involved 150 developers. Developers have the right to apply for release if the units remain unsold for a year. They can sell them to non-bumiputra buyers. Mod Jaffna said most of the land in the state belonged to developers, and the state needed to receive full cooperation from them, especially for the construction of affordable homes. We met with 14 developers to discuss the issue of the rising cost of building materials through the Plan, Design, and Review Committee KPDRC, and how they can help us build affordable homes, he said. The discussions also touched on reducing the number of units built while maintaining affordable prices. The developers still have the social responsibility to build these properties for the B40 and M40 groups. We have also set up a special committee to review and compare housing policies from Selangor, Malacca, and Perak, including policies during the time when Pakatan Harapan and Perikatan Nasional led the state government, so that we can come up with a more holistic approach, he said. Mod Jaffna said the state government was also planning to build 21,000 affordable homes over the next 5 years, with 3,000 units being built in the first year before doubling the number in the third year. Johor RAN Estate Housing Developer Association, REHDA, Chairman Wong Boon Lang said the speedy release of overhang bumiputra lot properties would help developers improve their cash flow. The sooner the bumiputra units are released and sold, the faster it will drive up the economy through the multiplier effect, he said. Wong said the unsold bumiputra units generally did get to be released after a long period unless there were clear guidelines allowing developers to get them released after a fixed time. Even as we at the tail end of this newsletter regarding the issue of the RM 1.9 billion bumiputra lot being released, we must take heed that these are critical considerations both the government and the developers agree or not. Just to reinforce what is written, be reminded that more than 2,000 unsold dwellings earmarked for bumiputra home buyers, costing at RM 2 billion, have been given the green light to sell by government. These homes were kept for categories M40 and T20 and above. This strategy aimed at reducing excess properties that are unsold. Additionally, it could help developers manage their cash flow. Ultimately, it will boost the Malaysian economy through the multiplier effect. Now that we are aware of the seriousness of the housing situations both in the short and long run, we must ask ourselves, what can we do to improve the situation? My humble advice is to go all out to tell our customers and prospects to do our best to improve property market. Possible? You bet we can. As a parting gift to you, allow me to quote an interesting quote by Voltaire. He says, "By appreciation, we make excellence in others our own property." End of newsletter. Source: extracted and modified from open printed sources. P.S. Come to think of it, we know if it is a lengthy property selling newsletter, yet we want to congratulate you for watching and reading this bulletin completely. Needless to say, since you have fully read this news, therefore, you now deserve more forthcoming weekly free bonus of chapters of the book How to Handle All Kind of Sales Objection. Additionally, we are eager to know which part of this sales and marketing real estate newsletter you learned most. Your feedbacks are critical so that we can help each other grow effectively. Lest you forget, these sharing will continue in YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course in our author, trainer, and consultant's email, josephsfn@gmail.com, upon request. Alright, thank you. We hope to meet you next week. Goodbye and best wishes from me, yours truly, Madam Sophia, the virtual presenter for CTM Joseph. August 15, 2022.